Are you so excited?
Yes.
Dance Journey! With Tracy in LA. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Dance Journey. Today we have a very special guest, Zoe Ortiz.
Hi.
I'm so excited to have Zoe because, well, first of all, she's my first teenager I've ever had on the podcast, which is super exciting.
I'm really excited to be here.
She's 15, and it's really cool how Zoe and I met because we take a lot of the same, like, contemporary... Well, you just take tons of classes, really. But we take a lot of similar contemporary teachers, I think it's how it started. And I don't even think we hadn't really talked in class. I might have seen you in a class.
Yeah.
But then I think that maybe your dance was just like posted on one of the teachers' stories or something. And so I started following you. And it was probably Sam Nelson or something.
It was probably, yeah.
So I started following Zoe and I was looking at her Instagram. And she's such a good dancer. And so I was drawn to her because of that. But also... she's such an encouraging person, and she always, like, comments on my dances and, like, you're really eating this one. Like, I don't know. You're always saying, like, nice things. And so I think you just stood out to me because I never really talked to you in person, but I was like, this Zoe girl is so nice. She's always, like, liking my stuff and encouraging me, and she's such a good dancer. So when I was asking people to be on the podcast, I really wanted to ask her, but I never talked to her in person before, and I didn't actually know she was a teenager. So that was kind of funny, but then I was so excited when I found out you were, because I was like, great. I actually wanted to have younger people on the podcast, but I hadn't gotten a chance to yet. So so excited about that. And yeah, I think then we were just following each other, and then we accidentally were in the same class right after that of Phil Wright's.
We were,
And we had just planned the podcast, and then we saw each other in Phil Wright's, like, open-level hip-hop class, like, last week, and we're like, oh, hey. So that was just really cool. But, yeah, so that's how we know each other, and we just took a class together. Gianna Martello, which, okay, you have some... How much have you taken her class already before?
Probably, like 7 times, 8 times already, I think.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you're a little experienced at her class. Okay, Gianna Martello. I just found out that she teaches at Millennium, just pop-ups, but I just found that out on one of my last podcast shoots from somebody, and so I really wanted to take her class, and so fortunately Zoe also really likes her, so she chose to take that class for this podcast episode. But Gianna was the choreographer on Dance Moms, like the assistant, or I don't know, whatever she was considered, but I love the choreography on that show so much, and I actually always loved Gianna on that show, and so I didn't know she was freaking, like, teaching at Millennium. I was so excited about that. So, yeah, we totally took her today. That was my first time, and oh my gosh, I should have known it was going to be hard. Did you feel like today, since you've taken her a bunch, did you feel like today was especially hard, or her typical?
It was not as hard as her typical, but it was still hard. Her classes are always hard, especially if you don't, like, know acro skills.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But, like, they're really fun.
So fun.
It was a lot.
So fun. It's just, because I've been taking a lot of classes with floor work, like Sam and Shelby, and, oh, that's been amazing. I love their classes, my favorite classes right now. But Gianna kind of has more, she does floor work and crazy stuff, but she also... like, kind of incorporates more lyrical moves.
Oh, yeah.
Which I haven't been doing as much lately, but I love, and I loved that style on the show. And so I kind of forgot, like, it made sense when she was showing the choreography. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is her style. Like, I kind of know her style. But, I mean, I know it in my head. Does my body know how to do it? Not really. So it was definitely, it felt like the hardest contemporary class I've taken in a really long time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a super long combo. It wasn't super hard to remember. It was more just like some of the moves in a row. There was a lot of hard floor work, like, in a row.
Yes.
And just a couple of the moves I really couldn't do yet. Maybe I can work on that.
Yes. They're, like, really hard. You just gotta, like, go for it. Like, sometimes you can't even be like, okay, how do this? You just have to, like, go for it, because, like, I'm just like, when I'm upside down, I'm blank. I'm just like, whatever happens, happens.
At one point, I don't know what happened. So one of the moves was, like, we had to do a back roll, but, like, kind of touch our left toe to the ground first and have our right leg in passe and then like thread our right leg through under our left leg or something and then be on our back and pointing our right leg up. And then right after that, we're supposed to do this kind of half shoulder stand thing to get into like sitting on our knees. And I was like, what? And then in the beginning at one point, I don't know what happened, but I was just over there trying to work it out, you know. And then Gianna like made a joke or something because I guess Zoe was just like laying on the floor. I don't know what happened.
I like did it and I just like fell. Like I went to the shoulder instead of like going over to like this shoulder, I just like flopped to the ground. Everyone else was like on their knees. I was just laying there. I was like, guys, I can't do this.
Gianna was like, what happened? And then Gianna was like making a joke like, Zoe, everyone's doing this and Zoe's just laying on the floor. But like I didn't see it, but it was kind of funny when I did see her laying on the floor for a second. That part was very hard. I thought you were looking pretty good by the time we were doing groups and everything. I was just happy that I understood in the beginning when I take like a new teacher's class, like I'm just happy when I can understand the mechanics of it. Like, okay, I at least know what it's supposed to look like and I understand what my body's supposed to do. Yeah. It's not totally doing it today, but that's like a start, you know?
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful and I loved doing it. I loved her choreo. It was just amazing. And she's a really good teacher. Like, she's super nice but then she still pushes you and I mean it's a tough class for sure, but she's like very nice and a lot of experienced dancers in the class, which I love. It's so fun. I'm so inspired when I get to watch everybody who's, you know, just adds in a casual aerial at the end during their improv.
Like backflip guys.
You're like, okay, well, no, I love it. Everybody was so good. So that was really, really fun. So thanks for choosing that class. Because, just a funny story about that, because I was like, I was thinking about that class once I learned about it, but we were going to take a different class. But then Zoe's like, actually, can we take Gianna's? So I was very excited about that. But anyway, so we're going to talk about you, Zoe, because I know some stuff about you, but I don't know everything. Okay. So we're going to learn about your dance journey. So right now, what does your dance life kind of look like? Because you are still in school, but talk about how that works with like, because I know you take a lot of dance classes. So what's your life looking like?
On really long weeks, I wake up at like 4:45 to go to the gym for an hour and a half. And then I don't start school until probably like 8:30.
Okay.
And I do school until like my first like morning class.
Okay.
Which is like usually like 12:30.
And this is because you're homeschooled.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, and if I don't finish my school, I'll come back after dance. Okay. And I'll like finish it, and then usually I just like do chores and then take a nap, like a 2-hour nap before like my nighttime classes, and then I like go home after my classes, eat dinner, take a shower, and go to bed and do the same thing. Like, wow. It's a lot because I still have to like, I like train at home too, so I'm like in my room for like 2 hours, like practicing technique or stuff, or if it's competition season, practicing solos, all those things. I just like go for it. Wow. And I'm like tired. I only get like actually like 5 hours of sleep a night, but on the weekends I'm sleeping in.
That's good. I'm glad you have the weekend. So on a regular weekday, are you taking like 2 or 3 classes, or how many are you taking?
Depends on the day and also who's teaching, because I make a schedule for myself. Okay. I like put on this day I'm taking this person, on this day I do this person. So sometimes most days it's 2, sometimes it's 4, but like it's really been like 2 or 3, and like I usually just go, I just do it. And sometimes I just like that day I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take 5, I guess.
You're like, just, if there's all the teachers that you like want to take and that you're trying to learn with the most. Yeah. Yeah. And is it mostly at Millennium, or what are all the studios you're taking at now? It's
mostly at Millennium and Playground. Okay. I go to Millennium the most, but once in a while I'll go to Movement Lifestyle or Team Elite.
Okay. And what does your weekend actually look like? Do you still take dance classes on the weekend?
Yes. Okay. On Saturdays, I wake up to go take Shelby. Okay, then I take Hannah Gallagher. Yes. And then I have like an hour break, and then I do my core mentorship with Alexander Chung and Jasmine Chung, and that's 2 hours, and I have a 30-minute break, and then I take Kelly Sweeney for 2 hours. And then on Sundays, I either take the day off, or I go take Kelly's and Guy's on the weekend. dance at
They teach
Playground.
at Playground on Sunday. Yeah, I took that before. Oh my gosh, I love Kelly Sweeney. I haven't been to her class in a while.
She's so sweet.
Her Playground class was like a little bit easier because that's her like beginner intermediate or whatever. The Millennium one I took a long time ago and I could not keep up. I don't know, maybe I could now, I'm not sure, but I love watching you do her style.
Thank
All your
you.
videos of you doing hers are really fun.
Thank
so
you.
highly recommend checking out Zoe's Instagram and looking. She has so many different kinds of fun dances because you're just doing, I feel like you're doing so many styles, but I guess it's mostly contemporary hip hop, jazz, funk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mostly it. Do you take any ballet?
I do sometimes. It's on Wednesdays, but Wednesdays are usually days that I catch up on school.
Okay.
And it's at Wednesdays I like 1, but I don't always make it because I'm catching up on like all my schoolwork that I missed or chores that I haven't been doing or like taking care of my dog. Because Wednesdays are days I'm like, okay, I need to get all this done so I can have a fun weekend and not. Because if I don't get my chores, then my parents make me do them on the weekend. So I'm like, I had to do it so that I can actually go dance on the weekends.
What's your least favorite chore and what's your favorite chore if you had to pick a favorite?
My favorite chore is like organizing my vanity because I love makeup and skincare.
Oh, okay.
My least favorite chore is everything else.
Makes sense. Yeah, I like organizing too. And obviously there's things I would like to do besides organize.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a chore, also organizing. Maybe not my vanity because I'm not super into makeup, but okay. And so, let's say you have Sunday off.
Okay.
And you don't have any dance and you don't have any school or extra chores to do. What do you do? What would you do on Sunday?
Sleep in, probably go to the pool or
Nice.
then like tan or just like actually just lay in my bed.
Yeah.
And FaceTime my friends because I have a lot of friends here, but I also have a lot of friends in like San Antonio still.
Okay.
So like that's usually all of our days that we have nothing to do usually. So I'll just like call them and catch up with them.
Yeah. Okay, because we're getting back to her full story. You haven't been in LA that long.
No.
How long? When did you move here?
Last July.
Okay.
So 10 months now.
Okay. And you moved here for dance,
Yeah,
right?
I had booked a job. That's why we moved here. And the job didn't end up like happening anymore, but
Okay.
I had like booked something that was supposed to be like a couple of months. And we actually were only supposed to be here for like 6 weeks.
Oh.
But I made a PowerPoint and cried a bunch to get my parents to let us stay here.
Okay, wait. You made a PowerPoint to
Yes.
convince your
I
parents?
made a
I love that.
PowerPoint. I cried every day. And then they were like, okay, I guess we have to stay.
You sound like me when I was little, except it was to get a cat. Like, okay, wait. What were like, do you remember any of your main points from the PowerPoint?
Yes, it was like mentors that I had been working with, mentors that had let me like assist their classes, and it was like studios that I would like to train at, opportunities, like the difference between dancing in Texas and LA and how it helped me grow because I had kind of like already like, outgrown like the Texas dance scene.
Okay.
So I was like, there's not really much for me left in Texas. I have my friends and my grandparents, but like there's nothing else for me to like be here for.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Also, I've made a huge community here and a bunch of friends like my age. So I was like, I'm gonna have to like leave these friends. So I was like, why am I gonna like make a huge community here and just like go back?
So you felt like, was that because your 6 week stay or whatever, you felt like you
Yeah.
had already made a lot of friends?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And before you came out that time, last July, had you visited LA back and
Yeah.
forth? Like, had you done that?
A lot. We usually came like 2 or 3 times a year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And so the PowerPoint and how many days of crying did it take? Like,
The whole 6 weeks.
oh,
Like,
because you did that like the whole 6 weeks you were
yeah,
here.
it's like the whole day. I would have deep conversations with my mom in her room how I wanted to like stay here. Like it took a long time.
Wow.
Even took a long time to convince him to even like consider coming here for the summer.
Wow.
It took a long time.
Wow, good job with those persuasive skills. That's going to come in handy with lots of things in life, probably. Wow. So then did you guys have to, you still had a lot of your stuff back
Yeah.
in Texas, right? So you had to like go back and get it
Yeah.
all.
We had already sold our house at that point, so our plan was to like come here for 6 months. We had sold our house and then 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then get a house with my grandparents because my grandparents in
Oh.
Texas like live in the hill country
Oh,
area.
okay.
So we had planned to go back and like get a new house for my grandparents. We could all live in together, just take care of them. But my grandparents' house hadn't sold yet, and so we were just like, we had to go back and get all of our stuff because we ended up buying an apartment.
Oh, okay.
So we just like went back to San Antonio and like drove back.
Okay. And then you got an apartment here.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And is this your mom and is your dad here too? Or is
Yeah.
just, okay. And do you have any siblings?
No, I have my dog. He's a sibling.
You're like, that's enough. Your dog. Yeah, your dog is cute. I saw him or her.
Her.
Okay. She's cute. Wow, that's crazy. Now, do your parents have jobs back in Texas or?
My mom just sold her company. She had an education consulting company.
Okay.
And she just sold her company. And my dad right now, he is just had a couple of new interviews because he wants to start working here because he is IT. And he wants to work in the college system because I've always wanted to go to college here. And if you work at a college here, kids get like off. So dad's like, okay, I like IT. And he's like, I like the college system and like the hospital system. So he wants to like do that.
Wow. I love that story. I love that you guys just all moved out here. I mean, obviously it took some persuasion, but that's like so cool. And they obviously really love you. And, you know, I mean, they love you in either way, but like it's really cool that they support you and just like at least gave in at the end.
Yes.
And you, I mean, from what I can see, you're such a hard worker. You're not the type that's going to be like persuading forever and then just like barely put anything into it or something. Like you are obviously like working so hard to get your school done, to get to all these classes, to train, to like get better, like, and even just watching you in class, like you're obviously very focused, you're working hard and you look amazing. So yeah, I think it's probably working now. It's probably worth it, I would say. But I want to, before we talk more about just kind of your aspirations and stuff, let's talk about how you grew up. So, like, when did you first start? Were you born in Texas?
Yes.
And then when did you first start taking dance?
So I took dance when I was in like, I took cheer for like 6 months when I was in kindergarten, and then I stopped.
Wait, they had cheer for kindergarten?
Yeah,
I'm
I was
shocked
at
about
a private school, so like,
That's
they just
so
like,
funny.
did it.
Okay.
And then I was in the first grade. I did it for like ballet and tap for 6 months, like those combo classes.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Okay.
I cried.
Oh,
I
no.
never wanted to do it again. I did it for 6 months. And I was like, I hate this. Get me out. Because I hate that I couldn't like move my body because I was a really energetic kid.
Oh.
So I was like, get
It's
me
too
out of
restricting.
here. So I stopped and I did a bunch of different sports. I did like diving, basketball, swim team.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up doing Polynesian and Hawaiian dance for a year.
Oh, cool.
And then I stopped doing that and like started doing like basketball after that. And then COVID happened, so we couldn't really like go anywhere.
Wait, and how old were you when you were doing basketball?
I was probably like 10
Okay.
or like 11. And then like COVID happened, and then like it was like COVID in Texas was like really bad. Like we couldn't go anywhere. We had curfews, and like obviously all the schools were out. So like all of my friends, everything that we knew, and like I was homeschooled at that point already. But like I still like felt like there was like nothing for me. Like dude, I was always at home, so like I started watching like Phil Wright's videos of like his Baby Shark videos with his Fam Jam. And I was like, guys, I love this. I started watching like Matt Stefanina and like videos of like Twitch, and I was like, I love this so much.
Wow.
So I just like started teaching myself how to dance. I really like taught myself for a good year and a half watching like Dance Moms and like just different Phil Wright videos and Matt Stefanina videos, just teaching myself like how to dance and stuff. And then once COVID was, we had this thing in Texas where for some reason it snowed, and we call it Snowvid because it was snowing and it was COVID.
Snowvid.
And it never snows in like Texas.
Wow.
It's like it snows in like Dallas, but in San Antonio it's like 110 all the time. So like it snowed suddenly, and like I was like, okay, my parents aren't working out. This is a good time to tell them I want to dance. So I got put into a studio for a year, and I hated it. I'm not gonna lie, I hated it.
You know what? It's to pause you. It's interesting that you say you hated these things, but you kind of did them for a long time. Like even when you were little, you did that for 6 months, even though you hated it.
Yeah.
And then you did that for a year, even though you like. Did you feel like you hated it at the beginning, but you were like, maybe I'll start liking it?
What I hated about it was I couldn't. They wouldn't let me do hip hop, and they wouldn't let me do like other styles because they wanted me to be in ballet. I hated ballet. Like I didn't want to do ballet at all. Like I was like, I can't move my body. And then I think at some point I was watching Dance Moms, and I was like, I want to compete.
Okay.
Like, and I went to my teacher, And I was like, I want to compete. And I choreographed a solo, and I did it to In My Blood by Shawn Mendes.
Okay.
And they were like, wow, I never seen you dance like this. At this point in my life, I was like, I don't think I was the best dancer, but I was like, guys, I want this.
Wow.
I worked for like 2 months on this piece. I was like, I want this. I'm going to do this. And I moved up to the competition level. That was so really easy for me. I felt like I didn't feel challenged, but my teacher that taught me, she was like the best teacher. Like she was like the first person that like believed in me, that made me think like I could like do this.
Wow.
Like I could actually like pursue something in this. And then after that, I was like, okay, this is too easy for me. I started to actually like love dancing. I went to another competition team for 2 years. That was a really toxic studio.
Now, were you doing group dance competitions at that point? Okay.
I did. For the first year, I was on short season. They let me onto the competition team, which I was really upset about because I just came off a really big win at my other competition studio. So I trained for 6 months really, really hard, got onto their convention team. I won a bunch of scholarships. I was like, okay, if I'm winning a bunch of scholarships, I'm winning a bunch of stuff, and I'm not on a competition team, I'm going to audition again and work really hard and get onto it. I got onto it. I did the production, which is a whole company.
Okay, so you got into like a better competition team.
It was the same team. It was just like their...
Oh, okay. More elite.
Elite team.
Okay.
And I did the production, a hip-hop dance, group dance, and I did hip-hop solo. And then I also decided to do a ballet company, which is really weird for me.
Yeah, because you weren't taking a lot of ballet.
And I really wanted to get better at this style. And it just clicked for me that I really need to like try to get into like ballet and more of my technique. And I really wanted to like push myself. So I got into... They originally put me as their alternate. My mom and the ballet teacher fought for me to not be an alternate.
Oh, nice.
So they gave me a contemporary solo, and I was in their ballet group dance.
Wow.
So they actually put me into their group dance. And I, like, did that for a year, and it was really toxic. The studio was really toxic, so I didn't have, like, the best time there. But I still showed up. I didn't want to be there, but I was there.
I mean, you must have you just like dance so much. So even though there was, like, some toxicity, you still push yourself because you just liked the dance aspect, right?
Yeah. At the end, I didn't really want to dance anymore because of how bad things got. I told my mom, like, it was like I came back from somewhere. I told her, I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't, like, do this anymore. I'm not good anymore. Like, I don't want to do this. I was, like, ready to quit. And my mom's like, no.
Wait, how old were you when that happened?
It was literally, like, a year ago.
Only a year ago. Okay.
Actually, no, it's a little bit more than a year. But, like, probably like a year and a half, I think.
Okay.
And my mom was like, you're not quitting. I'm not letting you quit. Because she was like, I see like that you love it. And she's like, you're not quitting. She like signed me up for another studio to go to their intensive. And I cried. I was like, I am not going in there. There's nothing you can do that makes me go in there. I'm not going. She made me go. And I ended up loving it. I was like, okay, wait, thank you. She knew. And I was like, you're not stopping. I don't know what you're talking about. But I'm happy she didn't, because I don't think... After thinking back, and I stopped, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm actually, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is so crazy. So you just kept training there?
Yeah.
And then, was it a better environment?
It was. I did, that's why I met Phil. He did my hip-hop solo last year.
Oh, cool. Because he came there?
No, he posted something on his Instagram. My mom was like, I'm going to just submit you for it.
Oh, okay.
And for, like, the solo. And, like, he back, and he was like, I want to work with you.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, this was insane, because I grew up watching him. Like, he's the reason why I dance now.
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, okay, this is insane.
Hi, everyone. So I wanted to tell you about my new book, The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010. This is my very first memoir. There will be more. It's not like a normal memoir where you're looking back on your life and reflecting on it and writing a book about it. It's more like a memoir in real time. So basically, when I very first moved to LA to pursue acting, which was in 2009, I decided I was going to write these like monthly newsletters where I sent out actual letters in the actual mail to a bunch of my friends every month to give them updates on what I was doing with acting and jobs and friendships and all kinds of things that I was going through my very first time ever living in LA. It ended up being pretty humorous, and so I've basically gone back and edited them so that I could publish them as a book. So that's what this is, and yeah, if you want to be entertained and have a good laugh, buy my book, or if you just want to help me pay my rent next month. Oh, and you can get it on Amazon. The Tracy in LA Newsletters 2010 by Tracy Nicole. Nicole is my middle name. Also, there's a link in my Instagram bio. You can get it paperback or on Kindle.
Like, I did that, and then I went back to, like, that studio, and, like, I had, like, the best time. I was really shy. I didn't talk to people, like, the whole year, actually. I talked to 2 people. I was, like, because I didn't feel like I could trust people after,
okay,
like, that.
Because you had such a bad...
Yeah.
What would you... Do you mind me asking, like, any type of example of, like, why it was toxic at that other studio?
There was... People got physical. They were, like, pushing me. I was, like...
Oh, my gosh.
And then, like, body shaming. And, like... Because I feel like that's really prevalent in dance. But, like... And I have a really good people, like, advocating for me when I would be, like stick up for myself. It was really less, like, it's fine. Forget about it. And it happened so much that I was, like, started to, like, believe the things that they would say. Because, like, when someone tells you this so much, like, okay, maybe, like, I am not good. Maybe I am, like, not the best. Maybe I shouldn't be here. So it took a lot of, like, confidence and, like, a lot of, like, time to just, like, work on myself and work on who I wanted to be after that.
Yeah, what did you think helped you kind of get back into, like, that confidence? Was it just switching studios, or just, like,
I think
over time you just finally got your confidence kind of back?
I think having some really good mentors.
Okay,
so having a really good community of people and some really good friends that are from that studio I've kept with me, my 2 best friends.
Nice.
And surrounding myself with just people that I love and care about.
And those friends, are they still back in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, crazy. So you're working at this, you're dancing at the studio that it's more encouraging environment. You're obviously doing well. And then what happened? You started to visit LA because you were just like, you saw the videos, or you just wanted to try training here.
When I was at the studio that was toxic, I had already visited LA before that.
Oh, okay.
So I just started to, like, go back and again. And then I think I had, like, joined Chicken Nugget University, Phil's mentorship, and we started talking about, like, agents and, like, all these things, and things that he wanted me to, like, do, things he wanted to see me grow in, and that really helped me. And we started talking about, like, having to book jobs and stuff like that. And I think that I had went to an intensive with an amazing choreographer that had his name is Gene Tapia.
Okay.
He's really, I hold him so close to my heart. He's like a big brother to me. And he had trained me for like 7 months, I think. Like going. We just trained hard. And
what style?
Hip hop.
Okay.
And like contemporary, just like movement.
Okay.
And he ended up having a really big job, and he was like in LA for like a couple of months. And I called my mom, and he was like, I wish you guys were here. Like, I miss Zoe. And I was like, we wish we could be there too. And he was like, does she want to come? And I had ended up like flying out a day later and working on like my first job.
Wow.
With him. It was for a really big like project. And it was
cool.
like, for being a first dance job, I don't think I could even be like, it was insane. Like, I was like, it was like insane. I was like so like what do I do, guys? Like, it was my first thing. I had never like worked on something with someone, but it was so much fun. Like, I felt,
you had flown out here to do that job.
It was like literally 2 days. I flew back home because I had like a competition.
Wow.
So like, I was like, I have to be here. I'm just gonna do it.
Wow. Of all of your dance experience so far, what is do you have a favorite as far as like, do you really love class the most? Do you really love competitions the most? Do you really love any jobs you've gotten the most? Or can you not pick? A lot of jobs I've been booking right now is a lot of acting jobs. Okay.
So I was just recently on a movie. And
cool.
I was supposed to just be a background actress, and then I got to set, and I was like in my outfit, and the director comes up to me, like, do you want to have a speaking part?
That's awesome.
I was like, sure. Because my mom was standing right there. If I said no, I know she'd be mad at me. I didn't want to say no, but I was like, wait, I wasn't prepared for this. And then I did it, and it was with the producer. And then I had met a really good group of like kids there that are like my friends that I keep in touch with. And it was so amazing for me because I was able to like text like my acting and singing coach back in Texas and be like, I just booked an acting job.
Wow, that's so cool.
And, like, it was so crazy because, like, how proud she was. Like, she really, like, opened my eyes into, like, more than just, like, dancing. And,
yeah. Can you say, like, what type of part it was, or what?
It was, like,
how you had to be for it?
It was, like, a party scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just had a little line in a party scene.
Yeah.
That's fun, though.
It was fun.
Oh, my gosh. Wait, but we kind of didn't talk about how did you end up getting into wanting to do acting? When did that start?
Phil told me I needed to do more than dancing.
Oh, okay.
He was like, you are such a good dancer, but I want you to do more. You're going to be more bookable if you can do more. So my mom found someone, and that actually, like, had connections with other people that I, like, train with. So she was like, you're going to train with her. And I was just like, I ended up just, like, loving it.
Wow. You love performing, obviously.
Yeah, it was actually, I didn't actually want to do it. My mom told me that if I don't do it, that she wouldn't sign me up for another month of Chicken Nugget University. So I was like, I guess I gotta do it because Phil's expecting me to be there.
Wow, it's like Phil and your mom were like a power team to get you to do this. But you end up loving it.
Yes.
That's really cool. It seems that's a kind of pushing that I think is good. When people know that, like, you're probably going to like it, but you just don't realize. I'm sure if you had actually done it and, like, really didn't like it, nobody'd be, like, pushing you. But that's really, really cool. Wow. Okay, so then you told the story about how you ended up, like, persuading them to just stay here because you'd come out here for a job, but the job didn't end up fully working out. Yeah. But you were still, like, taking class and, like, doing stuff here, right? And then now you're here, and now you've been here for almost a year.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling? Do you feel like you've grown so much? Or?
I do. I watched some videos back the other day of, like, me dancing in 2022. It was actually Sam's class. I had taken his class at my old studio.
Sam Nelson.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love him. And I had also, like, done a private with him one of the first times I came to, like, LA. And, like, watching a video back, I was like, I need to give myself some grace. Like, I actually, like, how much I've grown is, like, insane. And also, like coming to LA, like, 10 months ago and already booked, like, 3 jobs. Like, I even seem, like, possible to me.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you're only 15.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And this is, what's your biggest, what would be, like, if this thing happens in dance or acting, like, that would be my biggest dream.
Like, to book tours. I've always wanted to, like, be a tour dancer.
Yeah.
Also to open my own studio. I think,
oh, cool.
Personally, for me, I love technique. That's great. But I feel like artistry comes first before technique.
Yeah.
Like, you can teach someone technique. Like, it's not hard. Like, anyone can learn technique, whatever age you are. But artistry is really hard to teach. So I feel like that comes first. So I think teaching kids how to have artistry and also technique would be, like, a really cool thing. How would you tell someone any kind of tip or advice to help find their artistry? How would you say that? So I don't know if you know Braylon. He was on So You Think You Can Dance. I was talking to him about it because I was, like, having a really hard dance week. I was like, I can't find it. Like, I can't. And he told me, like, how I do it is being so grateful that I'm just, like, living and that I'm just, like, in this environment. Because obviously, like, right now this moment's never going to happen again. Like, I'm never going to, like, see you in this moment again. Like, just, like, being so grateful that you, like, have opportunities and just, like, that you're able to even, like, move your body the way you do and just have so much, like, grace for yourself.
It's funny that you say that because actually just now in the class we were taking towards the end, I felt like I got teary-eyed because I was feeling so grateful. I was just feeling like, I can't believe I'm just, like, in this class right now with Gianna Martello from Dance Moms. Not because, like, oh, she's from Dance Moms, but just because I admired her choreography and the choreography in that show, like, for all those seasons. And I can't believe that I get to take a class from her and just be in this room with all these amazing dancers. Yeah. And so just, like, watching them at the end and just the fact that I got to, like, try to do it myself, like, I was just, like, feeling just overwhelmed with thankfulness that, like, God has even, like, opened the door for me to be here in this moment. Like, I don't know what tomorrow holds, but, like, so kind of exactly what you're saying. Like, I'm here right now and I'm so grateful. And I love that idea of just, like, focusing on, like, your thankfulness and how that can help, like, you release like your artistry as you're dancing. That's really cool. I have other questions for you.
Okay.
We have about 15 minutes. So, what would you say is your biggest like strength in dance, like what people compliment you on a lot, and also what would you say is like something you're trying to grow at more?
Okay, I think my biggest strength is like my movement quality.
Okay.
And like my emotions.
Yeah.
I get complimented on that a lot. I think that's again like artistry.
Yeah.
I'm working on more about like musicality.
Okay.
I'm someone that gets really excited when I dance. I'm just like, I just want to do the combo. I just like go. I'm not like listening to music. I'm just dancing. So I just like love to do it, and just like take a step back and be like, Zoe, you need to calm down.
I'm the same way. Actually, that's a struggle I have too. Like, I just get excited about the choreography, and then I also don't want to forget it. And then sometimes I'm not sitting in the music more. I'm just kind of, or the musicality. Like, yeah, I'm trying to listen more. Like, know the counts, but also like understand. Like even today, the little like jump we did right before we go to the floor.
Yeah.
I was sort of doing the counts in my head to figure out when that was, but I also like noticed this like kind of, I don't know what it was in the music, but it was kind of just like a pulse in the music. I was like, oh, that's where that little leap is. So I was trying to think about that because it's like she created these movements, they go with the music. So it's actually like really helpful to think about that, to listen for it. But yeah, I have a similar struggle. You're like, yeah, I just want to get this choreo out. I mean, I can't tell when I'm watching you, but I can, we all have stuff. We all have ways we want to grow, you know? And yeah, what would you say? What has been nice about training in LA versus like Texas so far? Like what do you think's been like really good about it? Because it seems like you really like it.
So I think that there's a difference between when you're doing dance for fun and you're doing a dance because you want to book a job.
Mm-hmm.
And in Texas, we have a lot of competition studios other than like studios you go train at. There's a lot of competition studios. So if you're going to train somewhere, you're going to compete. Yeah. So I think having like a balance of like, okay, I'm going to have fun, but I'm also going to work really, really hard. So I think I play hard, work hard. Mm-hmm. Also surrounding yourself around people that want to also have the same goals as you. So not like people that are going to be messing around in class and just like laughing, freaking in the combo, but also like I have a group of friends back in Texas that we always go to competitions with, and we're like giggling and like we're like laughing and we're like vibing with the teacher and like all this stuff. But when he starts teaching or she starts teaching, we're like focused. Yeah. But then we're also on the sides like cheering for each other.
Yeah. I love that. That's really true. You're going to grow when you're with people in a class or at a studio that are also really focused and kind of have similar goals. Like, that's why I love taking class with people that are more advanced than me because I love how focused they are. I love seeing people like you or just people that are just really making it their career. I'm not necessarily trying to have dance as a career at this point in my life, but I love it so much, and I still want the same, like, maybe not the exact same, but, like, a similar focus, because I also really want to grow, and I want to do more with maybe teaching at the beginner level or choreographing, but, and not necessarily as, like, a job, but just, like, to do it, you know, and so, but I want to be good. So I like training with people that are really focused and working and growing versus just like, oh, we're just doing this for fun. Like, but it is also fun. So it's like, you said, it's kind of like a balance. But yeah, that's great. I can totally see that. Yeah. Just watching you in class, you're so focused, so hardworking. Has there been any like specific struggles since being in LA? Like, I know you made friends pretty fast when you first came here, but like I don't know how's it been?
It's been good and difficult. Like I shared before, I have like my non-epileptic seizures. Like when getting here, they got really, really bad.
Oh, really?
So I have like now a monitor for my low blood sugar and stuff like that. So I've been recently like dealing with like trying to stay focused in class, but also having to think about I need to have food at this time. I need to make sure I'm not gonna like pass out and all these things, which affects also me learning the choreography.
Oh my gosh.
So I actually had a seizure yesterday at Millennium.
Oh, you did?
Yes, but I've made 2 new friends.
Because of that?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Ari and Kaylee.
Okay.
They were both on So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh, cool.
And they've been really helpful just trying to like navigate it and also navigate like being in the industry with disability, because it is like really hard, because you don't want to So I also have a service dog.
Yeah.
And I love her. She's like my best friend. And she like alerts and wakes me up. But it's really hard when you're like trying to like work with a choreographer, when you're trying to do a mentorship or rehearsals, and you're like, hey, I need to bring my dog with me because if I have a seizure, she could wake me up. That's been something I've been really struggling with in LA, just trying to be like, okay, I need to stick up for myself, but I also don't want to like have a bad reputation with people.
Gosh, yeah, that's hard. I mean, well, you take so many classes for having to like deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you do like sometimes bring your dog and sometimes you don't
Yeah.
at this point, but it's better if you could always bring.
Yeah. She's getting groomed right now.
Getting groomed?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Wow. I mean, that's amazing, Zoe. I can't believe, like, watching all your videos, seeing you dance in class, like, I would never even think you were dealing with something like that because it, like, doesn't stop you at all.
No.
You know, you're, like, going so hard and you're doing so well.
Yeah.
And the fact that, like you said, you also have to think about that, like, your blood sugar and just, like, potentially having a seizure, like, thinking about all that while still trying to memorize the choreography.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about that, like for myself, like the emotional journey, because it's like I'm going through like sort of a career transition right now, and there's some stress with like money and figuring things out, and I have to try to let that go when I'm trying to pick up choreography because it's like that's like an emotional stress that's not helping me when I'm in the room. It's like I just have to be present and like this is where I'm at. Yours is even higher level because it actually could potentially affect you in the class. So you do kind of have to think about it.
It's hard because I'm trying to think about that.
Yeah.
I can't like stress over it because I'm having a seizure. I'm like, guys, I can't like be stressed over it, but I also gotta like remember that like when I need to take a step back and when I need to just like go outside and like take a breath and stuff. But people always ask me like, can you still like do things? I'm like, I can do everything I want. Like I'm gonna do it. Like I don't care.
Obviously.
Like if I have a seizure, I have a seizure. I can't stop it at this point.
When that was yesterday that it happened?
Yeah.
When that happened in class, are you able to like step outside, or is it kind of?
I was able to step outside because my mom was in the room because she's my handler for my dog.
Okay.
And then Ari and Kaylee came out to come help, and I was trying so hard to like fight it, but sometimes it's like really hard. But my dog just like woke me up in like 5 seconds.
So you're kind of like out of it, or it's like almost like you faint, or
it feels like you know when you take a nap and then you wake up like, oh my god, that was like 1 second.
Yeah,
that's how it feels like.
Okay.
And I'm like really, really hungry after, so then I like munch really hard.
Does being hungry also induce it a little bit, or no?
No.
Okay.
It's like emotions. Like anything
like I
happens.
can't even. Oh my goodness.
So like there was a class in Millennium. My celebrity crush was there. My blood sugar guys went up. I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine like you have a crush on someone and then you're like, sorry, I had a seizure. I know, think you're so
going
cute.
On a date having a seizure is low key. It'd be kind of funny because like he could catch me, you know?
Oh, I mean, there you go. It could actually bring you together.
Yes.
Just like you made friends yesterday from it. Like maybe you could also meet the one.
Yes.
Wow. Well, you have such a good attitude about it. And I love that you're sharing. I know she's also shared on her Instagram a little bit about, it's called non-epileptic seizures.
Yes.
And she's shared a little bit to help people understand. I think that's really cool that you're like transparent about it. And it's so cool that you're just going full force with everything you want to do. And it's working out. Like, you're so successful already, you know, at 15, which is crazy. And it seems like it's giving you a lot of joy. You're bringing others joy as well. And we're wrapping up here, but I do want to ask you, you do post a lot on social media, which I love. And have you been doing that for a long time? Do you enjoy social media? Do you sometimes get sick of it? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Ooh, okay. I've been posting on social media since like 2022. My parents didn't let me have an Instagram, but I pushed like really hard because I really wanted to like put my dance videos out there and put myself out there more. And I scroll a lot, obviously, teenagers. That's Instagram's real life.
I mean,
talk
that's
to my
everybody.
friends on there. I send reels to people. It's my life. I do think social media has definitely like brought up rise of like filmmaking classes, which I'm a fan of, but to an extent. Like I don't think every class needs to be filmed because I think you're not focused on like actually like learning and like trying to like use corrections on those things. You're just like focused, okay, I have 45 minutes like learning choreography and then like film for 45 minutes. But like I think social media is a really good way to like get yourself like well known in the industry. That's how we all find like people that we like and like enjoy.
Yeah, totally. I think I have a similar view. It's like I try to go to class and think, okay, it would be cool if we got a good video, but also I'm not here for a video.
Yeah.
So, and also sometimes like I won't try something as hard because I'm like, I'm going to do it this other way that will look better on the video.
Yeah.
Versus like class, I mean, you should put yourself in, try to do the things you can't do so you can get better. So sometimes I have to remind myself that, like, it's not about getting a perfect video. It's about, like, training and growing. If you get a great video, awesome. If you don't, it's also okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to post it, or you can to show the realness, you know, whatever. But, like, I try not to hold it too high. But I love that you post so much and you have so many, like, fun dances. And I love that you, like, share your life because I just like following people's lives. But
I just, like, I want to start a YouTube channel because I feel like I not like to get followers or anything if I do like cool or whatever, but like I like to like document my life. If I go through my camera roll, I'm videotaping everything.
Oh yeah,
like, I have pictures of everything. Like I just like documenting your life is like so much fun, but also like my mom tries to get me to take a step back away from social media because it is a place like for judging and stuff like that, especially like, as teenagers. Like not even just as a dancer, just like everyone judge themselves on like social media, like, oh my god, why can't I do that? Why don't I look like her? Like all those things, like that's just social media.
Yeah.
But like Phil also taught me like he said like a consumer and then someone that like doesn't. So like when Phil he tells me like when you're on social media, only use it when you're posting. He's like, once you're done posting, get off of it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you on it. Like don't use your social media. I don't listen to him. I love social media and I love Phil, but like he tells me don't use it.
Well, I will say for me that what my goal is, which I don't always follow, but my goal for myself is like I do want to look at other people's stuff because I'm partly on there to post, but I'm also partly on there to get to know other people and encourage them and to see what's going on with like their lives. I mean, obviously can't do that for every single person, but like whoever is kind of like on my heart or who I've been taking class with or things like that. What I try to do is only go on social media when I'm going to post something, but that's often because like you, I also like to document my life. But then when I'm doing that, I can also take a little time to like look at other people's stuff or whatever versus I'm trying not to go on it when I'm not posting something just because I'm like, oh, I'm bored for a few seconds because then it's like I'm just constantly doing that or I get sucked in and then I'm on it for too long. So if I only go on it when I'm posting, it's still going to be pretty often because I post a lot. And then I can use that little time to look at other people's stuff too. But then it's like, okay, now shut it off and don't keep checking it unless you're really going to post something else.
I be checking it every second.
That's how a lot of people are. And it's easy. And I get into that too sometimes. So that's maybe like a medium level that can keep you off it like a little bit. Because if I check it too much, it kind of creates a little bit of anxiety in me. And it's like, I don't need to be like checking all the time, like who's looking at my stories, like how many likes did I get? Like I don't actually need to know that every second of the day. Like I'll see it at some point, you know?
Like, I'm addicted to it. My mom takes off my phone once in a while to give me a cleanse. And I'm like looking for it. I'm like, where is it? I need to check. Like,
I need to
liked my story.
Give myself a cleanse from it sometimes too. That's so funny. I love that. Cool. Zoe, it's been so fun to chat with you. Is there anything that like you were hoping we were going to get to talk about that we didn't get to talk about?
No. I just was like, I'm going to come.
You're like, I just want to be on it. Oh, wait, I have one more question. Okay, then we are going to wrap it up. But because you're taking so many classes with adults, do you feel like you're still making friends with people you're almost an adult, but like, do you still feel like you're making friends with people your age, or do you find yourself kind of just making friends with people that are like 18 or over?
I have a lot of friends that are younger than me and like obviously the same age because I take mentorship with kids like my age, but I also have a lot of friends that are older than me, which I love. I love having like a big sister and big brother because I just never had siblings, so it's like really good for me to have people that I can literally walk into class and go give them a hug and be like, and they want to like know about my life and know how I'm doing. I also have like a lot of mentors that are like, I have a mentor, her name's Taya Wild, and I always call her, like, she's like my second mom. Like, I know I can text her if I need anything, or I often text her about a crush that I have on a guy.
She probably thinks that's super fun.
And then, like, I just have a bunch of, like, relationships with people that are older than me. Obviously, there are some boundaries. I I also do look older for my age. I've gotten asked to go to a bar a couple of times. And I'm like, guys, I'm 15. I'm not 21 yet. I'm sorry. But there's obviously some, like, boundaries I follow. But, like, I have a lot of, like, adult friends. And my parents are okay with it. They know that I'm also, like, am getting older. And I do take a lot of classes with adults. Like, I would say 98% of my classes are full of adults. But I think it's also really good to be in an adult class, especially when you're 15 and 16, because that's really, like, the transition to, like, an adult dancer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So also getting used to, like, the style, even if it's taking a heels class and, like, things like that are going to help you when you get, like, 18 and you're allowed to, like, go on tours and things like that. And starting to, like, practice that already is, like, really good for your age.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you seem to have, like, a maturity about you, which I think is probably because you're, like, around adults so much and you're training with adults and, like, yeah, but it's so cool. It's just so, it's also really cool that you didn't even really get focused on dance till, like, not that many years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you were 11?
I think I was, like, 12 or something.
I'm like, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I was expecting you to say that you were, like, focused on it since you were, like, 5. But you tried it when you were little, but then you kind of did other sports and stuff. So that's, like, that's really cool. I mean, you're, like, super focused on it, though. Like, you went from, like, you weren't really into dance to, like, you know, training yourself, taking all these classes, doing competitions, like, making your own choreography, like, yeah, and it seems like you're still having, like, so much joy with it. So that's like, amazing. I love it.
Thank you.
I am going to pray for so many opportunities for you because I'm just so excited about you now.
Thank you.
But I think that's kind of it. Do you have any, this is the last thing, do you have any advice you want to give to other dancers or anything?
Okay, so, like, I think just giving yourself some grace and knowing that you might want opportunity to happen, like, right now in this instant, but it's going to always happen, like, when you least expect it. So, like, give yourself some grace. Like, there's a job out there for everyone. There's a job out there for you, for me, for anyone. Like, there's a job out there for everyone. There's space in, like, the industry for you. Just give yourself some grace. Know that little growth is still growth. Even if you forget the combo, if a teacher gave you a correction and you took it, that's growth.
Yeah.
If you literally fell on your face during the video, if the teacher gave you knowledge, like, you went to him after class and was like, I have a question, and he gave you knowledge, that's growth. But you also have to train obviously your body, but you have to train your mind and your heart. Because I think, like, if you don't train your heart, you're never going to make it. You're never going to train, like, your mental health as a dancer, you're never going to make it. You can be the most amazing dancer, but if you don't train, like, your mind and your heart, you're never going to make it. So I think just, like, training all 3 of those are, like, really important.
How did you say that you train your heart?
Surround myself with good people and trying to be nice. My parents and me always try to do, like, one good deed a day. So even if it's just, like, holding a door open for someone, like, doing that and, like, training your mind. Guys, go to therapy. Even if there's, like, nothing wrong, like, just go to therapy. You'll, like, learn how to train your mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's so good. Just to have, like, the right mindset and I think, the heart thing's really cool. It's, like, remembering what matters, to, like, serve others, to love people, to care for others, even if it's just one, like, act a day or whatever, but just trying to remember that, like, all of those things matter, because then you're, like, a whole person and you're thinking about everything versus, like, just the goal. And it's so cool to hear coming from someone who is so focused on the goal. It's not taking away from that. It's just you're also trying to develop, like, every aspect, which is really cool. Well, Zoe, I could just talk to you for probably 3 more hours, but we're not going to. We're going to end it. But thank you so much for being on the podcast. This has been amazing. I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy learning more about you, and we're all going to be rooting for you. So, yeah, thanks so much. And thank you guys for watching and listening. And please subscribe and like and all the things. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.